コーディっつったな。お前は俺がぶっ飛ばさなきゃな。お前がどんなとこでどういう王になろうと勝手だけどな。海賊の王者は一人で十分だ。
Hi everyone, welcome back to another OP13 off meta deck list video. Today I have Blue Purple Luffy for you. Now I know it's been a while since I last posted, it's been about a week, and if you've been following my posts on YouTube, it's because of the fact that I've not only been busy with work, but we've had basically our tournament season here in Thailand, right? Last week we had the 3-on-3 tournament, and this weekend, as of filming, this is our first day for the 1-on-1 Bandai card games tournament, right? And so tomorrow's gonna be the second day, but I thought I'd make this video, a couple videos actually, and these are gonna be posted this weekend. Also going into this upcoming week, and so that means into this upcoming week we will be back to a normal schedule of 3 videos a week. And so thank you guys for waiting. For those of you who've been waiting and who have stayed subscribed, I really appreciate it. I will be pumping out these videos more and more now, just because busy season is over, right? Our tournament season is over. We don't have any big tournaments upcoming anytime soon, and so just little flagships here and there. But aside from that, let's get right into this Blue Purple Luffy leader. For those of you who have followed me, I've made a couple videos on this leader already. This is basically the solid version of this deck list that I have found for OP13 so far. And I think if you guys in the West are getting this promo Roger, like I've been hearing, everyone's going to be getting this promo Roger, then this makes it even better, because then this is a set deck list for all you Blue Purple Luffy players. I think this deck is really good. I think it can still beat meta decks, right? I think it could still be a meta contender, especially if you're really shiesty with this leader. The only problem is it's in the off meta, right? It's not really meta anymore, and the ones who play it are the ones that are really good with it. And if you're really good with it, then you can do really good with it. Let's get right into the deck list, and towards the end of the video, as usual, we'll do our deck breakdown after we go through the matches. Okay, so first up we have our leader. It's a 3 life, 6,000 power Monkey D Luffy, whose abilities activate this effect at the start of your turn, and if you have 8 or more Dawn cards on the field, you look at the top 5, reveal 1 Straw Hat, add it to your hand, and then place the remaining cards at the top or the bottom in any order. So you get to set the order and how you want either to draw into them or to set it underneath to get your next top 5 for your next leader ability, right? Let's get into our first card here. It's the 1 cost 2k counter Otama. On play, if you have 3 or less life cards, draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from your hand. Very simple, really good, especially because you're always at 3 life, right? And having that extra 1 card and to be able to cycle out 1 is really good early on. Next up we have our 4 cost 4,000 power 1k counter Pudding. Always run. We used to run 2 of these, now we're down to 1. It is on play, your opponent returns all of their cards to their deck and shuffles it, then your opponent draws 5 cards. Very simple. Next up we have our 5 cost 6,000 power Nami 1k counter, who's a blocker. Their ability is on play. If your leader is multicolored, draw 3 cards and place 2 cards from your hand at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. Basically an early leader ability for you, right? To be able to set your cards where you want to, or even cycle out cards, put them at the bottom, right? Next up is our 6 cost 8,000 power Boa Hancock. I really like this card. That's on plays up to one of your opponent's characters other than Luffy cannot attack until the end of their next turn. Then place up to 1 cost 1 or less character on the bottom of its owner's deck. Very simple, a good target for the 9 cost Sanji among the other bigger bodies if you can't get to them, right? And it's also nice to play on curve, especially if like you have nothing else to play, right? Say you've already ramped up as much as you could and you're going into your 8th Dawn turn next turn for leader ability. You can just play this out and stall them one more round. I mean, one more turn, right? And survive one more turn because of it. So next up is the 9 cost Sanji. Of course, the 9,000 power. On play, you reveal the top card of your deck. You put it into play if it's a 9 cost or less other than Sanji. If it's not, you place it at the bottom of your deck, right? Really good. Next up, our first ramp option. It's the 3 cost 4,000 power Zoro Juro, of course, 1k counter. Its ability is when attacking, if you have 3 or less life, add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck as active. Really simple. It's always been a staple, right? Next up is the 3 cost 3,000 power 2k counter Usohachi. Their on play ability is if you have 8 or more Dawn, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 5 or less. It's really good, especially now in this meta. Like I always say, if you're in purple, you're running Usohachi because of the fact you're either running this or the 8 cost Rayleigh because of the fact that it gives you an active Dawn and you're able to rest at 5 cost or less. Anything that's able to rest blockers in this meta is really good. just hands down. That's why you'll see a lot of Usohachis, you'll see a lot of these Rayleighs. In other colors, you'll have things like Flame Split that let you rest a 4 cost or less, right? So, and I'm missing other cards there, but there are tons of cards that allow you to rest bodies, and that's very important in this meta. Next up is our second ramp option. It's the 4 cost 1000 power Mr. Bon Cray, of course, 1000 counter. Everyone knows the on play is just add 1 Dawn card as active, and then when attacking, you select one of your opponent's characters, you copy their power just when attacking. Next up is our our third 2k counter. It's the 6 cost 6000 power Sanji. Blocker, of course, and while you have 2 or more fewer Dawn, it costs 3 less. Very basic, very easy. Most of the time you're not even down in Dawn to your opponent, so it's there as a blocker or 2k counter if you need it, okay? Next up is the new bread and butter of this deck. Like I've been saying, it's the 8 cost promo Roger, 10,000 power on play. If you or your opponent have 10 Dawn, your leader gains plus 2000 until the end of the next turn. So you become a 8,000 power leader for 1 whole turn. It's really good, allows you to survive long. It's really good into Emu especially. That's why Roger runs this, right? Imagine being a 9,000 or 8,000 power body and all they have is 7,000 power, meaning they have to invest more resources to be able to attack into you at all. Great target for the Sanji. You usually want to chain these, the 9 cost Sanji and the Sanji, that's basically how it goes. And then you end off with a Sanji Luffy, right? Which is our next card. Our next and last big body is the 9 cost 10,000 power Luffy. On play, return 1 or more Dawn cards from play to your Dawn deck. Draw 1 card, then the character gains rush for the turn. Very good. These are your main big bodies to target, right? The Hancock, the Roger, and the Luffy, but we'll get more into the deck breakdown towards the end of the video, like I said at the beginning. So let's get right into the events. We have our 2 Gum Gum Red Rocks. Notice we're no longer running Gravity Blade Raging Tiger, and that's because it's not really that useful anymore. Neither is Red Rock, which is why we're only running 2 of these, right? But we're running 2 of these because, like, say you're in the Ace matchup, it's good to get rid of those big bodies too. You can't get rid of anything in Emu, but you can't get rid of stuff in Roger and Ace, so it's really good to have this. 6 cost main, place up to 1 character at the bottom of its owner's deck. Trigger, place 1 character with a cost of 4 or less at the bottom of the owner's deck. Very simple. Next up, we're going into our counter event cards. We're running basically 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 of these cards, and first off obviously is the staple purple event card, Gum Gum Giant. 1 cost counter, Dawn -2, trash 1 card from your hand, and if you are a Straw Hat Crew type leader, you get plus 4,000 power to either your leader or character, and then you draw 2 cards. Very simple, nothing else to explain there. It's a really good purple Straw Hat card. Nothing else I can add there. Next up is our final ramp option. Well, technically Thunder Bagua is a ramp option too, but it's a counter mainly. But here is the 1 cost Gear 2, whose main is rest 2 of your Dawn cards. So for a total of 3, you add 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck rested. All right, and its counter is just plus 3,000 power to your leader. Next up, and our final card of the deck, it's the 2 cost Thunder Bagua. Its counter is leader or up to one of your characters gains plus 4,000 power during the battle. If you have 2 or less life cards, you add 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck rested. Its trigger is really good also. You add 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck as active. Instead of rested, you get it as active. So all in all, this is what I would say to be the final iteration of what you'll be seeing in the East as a blue-purple Luffy deck list. Once you start getting into EB03, which I'll probably have another video on, just because I've noticed people are now running the 7 cost Big Mom, and I said this in one of my past videos talking about the Big Mom in EB03. It's gonna get into this deck. Why? It's a replacement to the 9 cost Mom. I know you're going Dawn -1, but that really doesn't matter. If you play it out with a Sanji, not only are you ramping 1 extra 1, right? You're also able to heal 1 if it gets KO'd. And it's a 8,000 power or 7,000 power, is it? 7,000 power, 8,000 power body on the board that deals pressure to your opponent. And if they get rid of it, you just heal 1. Replacement 9 cost Mom is all it is, right? Until we get a Rocks Pirates type of leader. Then Big Mom will go into that. But till EB03 gets on the sim, this is gonna be the final deck list for now. Anyways, let's get right into the matches. All right, everyone, in our first match, we're up against Roger. We took first from Roger, okay? And so this is our hand. I'd say we keep this, right? And that's exactly what we did. We have three ramp options and some good big bodies and the Sanji already in our hand. Well, the Sanji wasn't in our hand. Technically, we Otama, but the Otama was in our hand. And like I was saying, it's nice to have that Otama early on. You're able to cycle cards out that you need, and that's exactly what we do here. On our first turn, we play the Otama, draw 2, which is the Roger and the Sanji. We get rid of the big Luffy, all right, and pass it over. He passes it back to us because he has nothing to do. He can't even ramp, right? Passes it to us. We get the Zoro Juro from the draw. We play out the Zoro Juro after attacking. 6 into leader. They counter out with a 2k buggy, okay? Pass it back to them. They're on their 4 Dawn turn. They swing 6 at us. We take, and then they play out the Douglas Bullet to ramp 1. Perfect, and they pass it back to us. All right, we're on our 5 Dawn. We attach 1 to Zoro, swing for 5. Gain 1 active, they take, they're down to 4 life. We play the Bon Crate for 1 more active, and that gives us 2 active Dawn. Swing 6 into their leader. They counter out with a 2k, and we pass it back over. We make them think we kind of have a Thunder Bagua here, right? But we really don't. We do have our gear 2 though. So he swings 6 into the Zoro Juro. We let it go. We're not really going to save that. We can't, even if we wanted to. He plays out another bullet to ramp 1 more and swings 9 into our leader with the other bullet that he played last turn. What we end up doing is we counter with a gear 2 and give a Nami. So that's 4k counter. Really decent. Now we're on our 9 Dawn turn, so we're golden. We're set for next turn. Unfortunately, we didn't get anything that would help us ramp the last turn. As you saw, no Thunder Bagua, no nothing. That's fine. We'll use our leader ability the next turn. We swing with our Bon Crate 6 into 6 to the Douglas Bullet. He ends up taking. Perfect. We swing 6 into him before he gets to his 7k life. I mean 7k power leader, right? Because he's about to be on his 10 Dawn turn. And so what we end up doing is we play the Sanji and bring out the Roger. And lucky for us, you know, we blind played the Sanji and we did end up getting a Roger. So that's part of why we kind of got into this. Either way, like playing out that Sanji would have had us a body on board. So it's not really a waste. I personally think even if we played the 8 cost Roger, we wouldn't have gotten the benefit of getting +2, right? So it's good that we did it this way. We don't get the +2000 from the Roger anyways, but we do have 2 big bodies on board. We pass it back over to them. We got very lucky on that Sanji play. But, you know, we take those. It is what it is. They swing 6 into our Bon Crate. Take that, of course. They play their own 8 cost Roger. They get +2000, so they swing 9 at us. We take. We get a Boa from life. They pass it back to us. Now we're able to use our leader ability. As you can see, we didn't get a 9 cost Sanji from our search. That's perfectly fine. I think we do take the gear 2 here, right? And then we place this on top. That's perfect. We get the Nami out. We play the Roger, so we become an 8,000 power leader. Swing 8 into the bullet. They take. Swing 9 at them. They counter, swing 10 at them, they take, so they're down to 3 life. And we have 3 big bodies on board, so we're way ahead of this Roger. The main goal against the Roger matchup is to beat him in the ramp. You want to be the first one that gets to your leader ability and basically snowball from there. We have 2 Dawn left, perfect. That allows us to utilize our gear 2, and that's exactly what we do. He swings 10 at us, we gear 2, counter +3k. He plays out a Whitebeard, gets +2000 to his leader, and notice a lot of the Rogers nowadays are running both the 8 cost promo Roger and the 9 cost Whitebeard, and it's because they want to stay a 9,000 power leader. But I think that is not as good as running just the 8 cost promo Roger and the 10 cost Shanks. I think the Shanks is a big factor in the matchup against Emu. It doesn't matter if you're 9,000 every round. What matters is also, well, it's kind of the same thing, right? If you play the Shanks out, you're minusing their bodies on board, so they're not 7,000 power anymore. If you're going against Emu, I should say. They're not 7,000 power, they're 6,000 power. And playing out 2 of those, it makes them 5,000 power, even so the Jupiter's useless. And it's hard to remove the Shanks. It's a 12,000 power body. So you see what I mean, but they go ahead, pass it back to us. We use our leader ability, and guess what? We get the Sanji. Perfect. We take the Usohachi for counter, get the Sanji, draw into it, and we play the promo Roger out. That's exactly what we do. Now notice we have 5 huge bodies on board, and we're just way ahead here. There's no way he's gonna win this. We go ahead, swing 8, 10 into the Roger. Let's see if he counters. I don't think he does. But he does give us a 1k, swing again, and he takes. Swing 9 at him, he counters out, and then we swing with the rest of our Dawn attached for 9. He ends up taking, down to 2 life. If he would have all-in'd us here, right, 8. So if he did, like, if he split his Dawn 5-5, let's think about it this way. 12 into us, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, we would have needed 5k. We could have countered out of the first one, and the second attack could have gone through and it would have been fine. 3 attacks, swing 7 into us, he can't, we're 8,000. Swing 9 into us, we just counter. And yeah, either way, he couldn't have gone for game here, right? So we go ahead, see what he does. Notice here, I'm trying to see make sure I know what his Whitebeard power is at. So he attaches Dawn, okay? Swings 13 into us. We need 6,000. We don't have that. Perfect, we get a 2k counter from hand. He does his Hail Mary here. Of course he does. Swings 14 into us. Guess what? We got so lucky with that 2k counter, because what does that bring us to? That brings us to 2, 4, 6, 7. That's 15 exactly. Now, we should have left a Dawn up, honestly, for Gear 2 just to play it more safe. It's what we should have done, but we didn't. But lucky for us, we did get the 2k counter. Counter, 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 out. And he just gives up here. GG to our opponent. He only had 4k counter left in hand. We would have swung 10k at him 5 times. It just would have been GG. Very close match with our opponent here. Let's get into the next one. Okay, everyone, on to our next match. It's against Emu. We chose to go second this time around. Obviously, you always want to take second from Emu. That's I always say half the battle, right? Look at our hand here. We have a Nami, a Roger, Pudding, Otama, and a Sanji. I do think we mulligan this. There's no ramp. Perfect. We do get 2 ramp options. So lucky us. He plays out. 1 Dawn turn, does his searches, passes it to us. We get an Otama from draw. We don't use it, right? We don't use it yet. We pass it back over to them, and that's because we want to keep the 2k counter. He's going to be really aggressive early on. So go ahead, see what he does here. He attaches 2 to his leader, swings 7 at us. I think we give him a 2k easy here because we don't have a Thunder Bagua. Otherwise, I would think of letting it go, but we just don't. So we counter out with a 2k Sanji. He passes it back to us. We use our action, play Zoro out, swing for 6. He counters out with a 2k. We pass it back over. He's on his 5 Dawn turn, plays out a Shalria, does his search to get a Nezjuro. See, I told you. In this situation, he's going to be playing out his rush bodies to get us down as soon as possible, right? To waste counter in our hand. So he's looking for his Nezjuros. Anyways, he trashes the Shalria, draws a card, plays out the Warcury. Perfect. Passes it back to us. He has 1 active Dawn for an event. We draw into an Otama again. Perfect. We use the Bon Cray to ramp 1, attach 1 to the Zoro, and then swing for 5. Ramp another one. Now notice we're at 8 Dawn and we're able to use our leader ability the very next turn. And we have a Thunder Bagua. Granted, we need to take a life in order to use it, but it is what it is. They counter out of this one with a 1k, so they're down to 4 cards in hand. We add 1 to our leader to swing for 7. I think they take... Oh, they should have blocked out and drawn an extra card, but they take. They're down to 3 life. We have 2 Dawn up. Plays out the Nezjuro, just like I said. And he plays out a Saturn. So really good on his end. He swings 5. Notice he can't -2, and that's because you need 9 cards in your trash to be able to -2, right? It is built-in rush if you have 7 or more, but you need 9 to be able to -2. So always remember that. We counter out with a 2k here. We save it. He swings 5 again. We could counter out, right? Maybe if we use the Thunder Bagua, that'd be a waste, but that's fine because like it saves us a body. The Zoro Juro is able to ramp us. We're already on our 8 Dawn turn, so there's no harm, no foul. And I guess that's perfectly fine. We do counter out with a Thunder Bagua. He does have 1 more attack here. If he does, he's left open, right? And if he does, we counter out with a 2k. Passes it back to us. Leader ability, we take the Usohachi. No Sanjis, unfortunately. That's fine, though. I think we do draw into the Roger here because we can play out the Roger to become a 8,000 power leader, right? Start placing on top. Perfect. We get the Roger. First, we swing into their board here. Perfect. 5 to 5. They take. We should play out the Roger. Yeah, perfect. Swing for 8. They counter. They block and draw 1. Swing for 5. They counter out of this one. Yep, give us a 2k Jupiter. Pass it back over to them. Now they're down 2 bodies, and we have 1 big body on board, so we're kind of ahead here. We do have board control. They play a Shalria out. They are on our 9 Dawn turn, so they can't use their 10 cost Elder just yet. Good for us. They play out a Mars. They KO our Bon Cray here, but they're down to 3 cards in hand, which, very risky. Attach 2 Dawn to their Saturn, swing 7 into the Zorojuro. We let it go. We're not going to save that. They swing 7 into us. Misplay there. We're 8,000, right? And that's why the promo Roger is so important to play out. That's fine. Passes it back to us. Notice we have all counters here in a 2k. I think we just take the Gum Gum Giant and place the rest of these at the bottom. That's honestly, yep, place the rest at the bottom. And then we get the 8 cost Roger from draw again. So we play the 8 cost Roger out here. No doubt about it. Swing 8 into their board. They take, swing 10 into them. They block, no bodies on board. We use a Otama to draw 2, trash 1. We want to cycle cards out of our hand. We get rid of this red rock. We don't need it. Because it's not like we can bottom deck any of their cards, right? All of their bodies are immovable. I don't know why we got rid of the Luffy. It would have been better to get rid of the red rock. Maybe we're thinking if they play out the 10 cost 5 elders, but even then they use it instantly most of the time. I know situations where they leave the 10 cost elder on board, especially if they have the board built up. It's against the Roger matchup, and it's so you have like a 12k body to swing at them, right? So anyways, pass it back over to them. We have one Dawn open for our giant. They play the elders out. Of course, they trash one Dawn, play out all the elders. Cool. They should swing into our Roger here. So like 7 minus 2, or attach Dawn to their Nezjuro. So 7, maybe they attack it for like 12, and then that would take it, right? 12 to 8. Although we do have a Gum Giant, so we'll see what he does. Notice here, he makes another mistake. He swings 7 into us. That's too bad. Always be aware, -2 to our Roger here. So he gets rid of the Nezjuro, instead plays a Mars. That's perfectly fine. He doesn't use its ability. He passes it back to us. Perfect. And notice there we have another Roger on top of our board. That's what we do in this matchup. We just chain those, so we're a 8,000 power body constantly. We take the gear 2 here for sure. Leave it on top. Draw into the Roger. Play the Roger. Swing 8. They block out of this, right? Or they take maybe. They don't have any counter. Otherwise, they just have 2 left in hand, right? 2k, 2k. So they do take. Swing 10. They block. Draw a card. 10 again. They block. We pass it back over. He has 3 7k bodies on board. Let's see what he does. He swings 10 into the Roger. We counter out with a 1k. We do have a Gum Giant on hand, right? So here, he swings 10 again. We counter out. We just should counter out here. Use a Gum Giant, get rid of the Red Rock. I don't know why we keep holding on to this Red Rock. We get rid of the Luffy instead, draw 2, countered out of that. So he has enough left for his elders. He cycles the elders again. He can't attack into us, right? We're 8,000 power, and so poor Emu. Plays out all the elders again. This time he can't swing into us at all. He can't even swing to our board because -2 is just 8, right? So here we go. We do get the Sanji from the 5 search, right? From the leader ability search. I think here we draw into the Sanji and play out the Nami, maybe. But there's also the option of playing the Rush Luffy to just apply more pressure, right? We go ahead. We use the Usohachi to rest the 4 cost. So he can't draw, right? Rest. Do we play out the Boa? If so, we should just freeze the Nezjuro if we do. We swing 6, see what he does. He counters out with a 2k. Perfect. Swing 10. Blocks out. Swing 10 again. He takes. Swing 10 again. He takes. I think we play the Nami to be safe, but the Hancock isn't a problem either. We freeze his Nezjuro, right? We play the Nami. So we place on the bottom. I think we place the Hancock and the... Finally get rid of that Red Rock. Jeez. We finally do exactly that. We have tons of counter in our hand. We pass it back over to our opponent. We are 6,000 power only, right? He uses his 1 cost event, well, basically 6 Dawn to get rid of our Nami here. I think he's gonna try to go for game because that's all he's got left, right? Although he does have 3, 4, 5, 6 attacks. So we'll see. 7 into us. We counter 2k. 7 into us again. 1k, 1k. Yep. 7 into us again. Take. 7 into us. 1k, 1k. Yep. See? We just counter out. Just show him that there's no stopping us next turn. Plays out his elders, cycles them out again. Notice in 3 turns, he cycled the elders out 3 times in a row. So he's gonna have 1 more left after this. He still has that Nezjuro to attack into us. 7 in us, we take. We have no counter. And this is about game, I think. Swing 6 into us, we counter with a 1k. Luckily, we got it from life. Perfect leader ability. We have the Roger. We take the giant. I think we set up the Sanji into Roger, right? And he just about gives up here. Now, why is that? He has 2, 3, 4, 5k counter. So let's play it out, right? Swing 10. Block. Draw 1. He would have drawn into a 1k. Warcury, right? Swing 10 again. Block. Swing 10 again. He counters out with the rest of his cards. He has no Dawn up. We attach the rest of our Dawn to our leader. Swing for 16. That's a GG. All in all, a great match against this Emu. What got us to beat him is essentially just chaining those promo Rogers. Staying as a high power leader really helps in this matchup. Anyways, GG to our opponent. Let's get into our final match. Okay, everyone, we're in our final match here against Ace. We went ahead and chose to go second. We always take second from Ace. It's what he loves to do, right? So we look at our hand here. I think we mulligan this, and that's exactly what we do, and we get our ramp options. So perfect. He plays his Otama, draws 2, trashes 1. He trashes the Jozu. We do the exact same thing. Draw 2, trash 1. We get rid of the... I'm not sure what we get rid of here. Boa, yeah. That's probably the best. Yeah, that's probably the best one to get rid of. He does his Ezo search. Swings 8 into us. We counter out. We don't want to take life early on. No, we do take just because we have the Thunder Bagua, right? That makes more sense now. We go ahead, swing 6 at them, see what they do. They end up countering out for sure. 1k, perfect, and our turn, pass it back over. It's because we want to use the Thunder Bagua and make one Dawn active. He plays the Marco out, he attaches one to his leader for sure. Oh, he plays the Garp, he doesn't attach one to his leader. Gets the Edward Newgate, the tax gate. Oh no, he gets the blocker gate from his search. Swings 6 into us, we counter out with the Thunder Bagua, gain 1 active. Perfect, we're on our 7 Dawn turn, gain 1 active Dawn, we're on our 8 Dawn turn with the Bon Cray, right? We got the Bon Cray from draw, so perfect. We shouldn't ramp here, we should keep the gear 2 as counter. So we attach 2 to our leader, swing for 8. I think he blocks and draws 2, right? He's not allowed to draw an extra one. Oh, he does take. Notice he didn't have any Dawn on, so he wasn't able to draw an extra card, and that's perfectly fine. He's on his 7 Dawn turn. Notice we beat him to 10. We're already on 8, going into 10. So that works ever so much in our favor. He red rocks our Bon Cray for some reason, right? I don't know why. He could have just attacked into it, but he does bottom deck it. Okay. Swings 7 into us. We counter with a 2k. Sanji, perfect. Passes it back to us. We use our leader ability. We take the 2k Usohachi here, draw into the Gum Gum Giant, and play out the Luffy with our Sanji. Perfect. Sanji into Luffy. Select 1 Dawn. Draw 1. We have tons of counter in hand. Swing 6 into their leader. They counter out of this. Cool. Swing 10 into them. They should block and draw 2. Because then, actually, they end up drawing 3. Instead of taking life, right? Yeah. Draw 3 cards. Perfect. Pass it back over. And they draw 3 because of the leader ability. Always be aware of how much aces draw. Luckily for us, we have the pudding in hand. So he's going to be one sorry cat next turn. He plays out his blocker, I think, right? Blocker Newgate, perfect, takes a life. And this is the mistake I always see ace players take. I get it. You're going to be a 8,000 power leader. But at the end of the day, like, taking 1 life in exchange for that is just not worth the value. And it's a lot of reasons why some of these aces lose us because of that. Attaches 2 Dawn to him and 2 Dawn to Garp, maybe. Oh, he doesn't attach any. Swings 10 into us. We counter. Gear 2 into Usohachi. Perfect. We use our leader ability. We do get the red rock, right? So I think here we take the Nami, draw into the red rock to get rid of the blocker gate. And then we pudding them. We should pudding them first. Perfect. Now they're down to 5 cards. Swing 9. We just ruined their entire plan, right? Because we got rid of all those cards. So we swing 9 into them. They counter 2k. We swing 10. They do end up taking and drawing 1, I'm pretty sure. No, they counter out with their leader ability and then a 1k or 2k. Yep, 1k. Perfect, pass it back over. They're 2 cards in hand. Like, this is, it's coming down to it, right? They play their 8 cost event again. They play the tax gate out this time. Attached to their leader. The rest of their Dawn right, swing 8 at us. We counter out 2k and a 1k. They pass it back to us. We take the Usohachi, draw. It doesn't really matter here because it's game. We're gonna pay the tax. It doesn't really matter. So we go ahead, swing 6 into them, see if they counter out, use their leader ability, whatever. We're trying to bait it out. They take, draw 1, 3 cards in hand. We pay the tax. Notice we only do 5, so that's 14, and that's GG. We would have just swung 14 also with the Luffy, right? We would have just paid 2, and it didn't matter. So GG to our opponent here. Great game against this ace. All in all, good games all around, so let's get right into the deck breakdown. Okay, so like I was saying at the beginning, your main targets for this deck is the Roger, the Hancock, and the Luffy, right? And you have so much event counters that being defensive, and you have lots of 2k counters too, that being defensive early on is very doable. Reaching your 10 Dawn turn, 8 Dawn turn as soon as possible to be able to utilize your leader ability. You always just got to be aware also of what you put on top, what you leave on top, and what you put on the bottom, right? It comes down to just playing lots of games with this leader, to be honest with you, and getting good with it. It can beat meta leaders pretty decently. The 8 cost promo Roger is what helps it that much more to be able to compete, right? Till EB03 comes out for the West, this isn't going to change much because like I said, the 7 cost mom is going to get added into this list just because it's a replacement to the 9 cost mom, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed all these matches today. Like I said, I've got a couple videos coming out this weekend, and then we're back to our 3 videos a week after that, okay? Very sorry that it took this long. You know, it's been busy with work, it's been busy with these tournaments, and so I hope you guys at least enjoyed this one. And if you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.